Wait, I wasn't ready. 100 Monkey, welcome back. So, had a hell of a time. I've been trying to go live for a while. It keeps not letting me go live. So anyway, I just tried just for the giggles of it. And of course, this time it let me go. And I'm not sure if I'm 100% ready for it. But what the hell, let's just rant for a little bit here. Going to talk about this book. All right, this book right here, absolute must read right here. This tells you the story of your enslavement. There used to be a video on YouTube called The Story of Your Enslavement. Of course, it has been taken down. It was up for years and years and basically told you how the bankers took over and United States Corporation took over and so on. And basically, it's a really simple story. United States Corporation took over, made you think, made your relatives and grandparents think that they were the de jure government of the United States of America. They called their corporation United States because they knew that you thought that United States was short for United States of America, and you put the in for them, just like the YouTube and the Instagram. And, because I'm going to get on the Facebook a little later. No, it's just United States Corporation. United States Corporation is not your friend, just not your friend. One thing I wanted to read in here, and I forgot to look up. Hey, you, did you look up those chapters I told you to look up? The answer is no. Go look those up. And now I need look, it's live. Because I can't read anything now because my vision has gotten so excellent over the years that I need a magnifying glass just to read stuff. This makes me sad. Sometimes, not always. But let me see here. There you go. I'm going to read. This is right out of the Supreme Yoga. So the concept has been around for quite a while. We're just ignorant. It's like horribly ignorant. Let's see here. Sir, surely we are not bond slaves sold to a master. Bond slave sold to a master? You mean like with a birth certificate where your mommy told the bankers that they could have you? And it's been going on for a couple of generations now, since about 1933. Bond slaves is mentioned right in here in this old book because this system has been going on forever and ever. We live a life of slavery, and yet we live a life of slavery. Yeah, because when you're bond slave, you're free. Any freedom. Oh wait. I can't read. I can't read between the pinhole glasses and the magnifying glass. I can't read the English. Anyway, the point being is that it's mentioned in other tomes the fact that there is such a thing as bond slavery.
26th of March.
Is which one?
The 1,000 armed.
Okay, great. All right. So in this book, yeah, there we go. And then the one that says. These stories are for your enlightenment, not for you shouldn't take them literally. Oh, and that's what I meant to look up. See, I was just seeing just for shits and giggles if I could go live, and finally I could go live. All right, so 26th day of March. I hope I can read this. This is awesome because this is us. So basically, it talks about on the 26th of March in this book right here. This is just a story. There isn't an actual man with 1,000 arms. In case you were wondering. O Rama, this great forest is not far away, nor is it that strange. I'm never going to be able to read this whole thing. But basically what it says is the person with thousands of arms and a mind with countless manifestations. Anyway, that's you. And basically you run through the forest and get yourself banged up because you believe all the nonsense that's around you. You think that you're living in this illusion and that this is your first time and it's your only body and so forth. And then you run through the forest and harm yourself, which is what's going on right now. I'm going to put a page mark in here. And maybe we'll see what I can do about that. But anyway, the idea is that the people now that don't seem to understand that there is a real estate collapse coming. Why is there a real estate collapse coming? That's conspiracy theory. I've heard people call me a conspiracy theorist because they can't. Same way your grandparents couldn't understand that FDR was not on their side and had prolonged that thing as long as possible. That thing I'm talking about is the Depression. The same way the Trumpers can't understand that Trump went along with the gutting of this economy, and we're not coming back from it. That V-shaped recovery is a complete fabrication. There's no way to come back from this thing in a V. In the next 90 to 120 days, and of course 90 days from in our state, this is Hawaii I'm talking about. I don't know what's going on in your state. I haven't looked them all up. But in our state, it's like I said, they couldn't even evict anybody until the 31st of this month, August 31st. So you weren't paying your rent since May. You couldn't evict them, right? And I know people that have had people that, right? Because when you got your $1,200 in this state, $1,200, that didn't pay rent. That might have bought you food, but it wasn't paying your rent. If mom and dad both got $2,400, then maybe they could cover rent with that. But then how do you feed the kids and so on? So a lot of people just didn't make rent. About a third of people just didn't make rent. Okay, and they haven't made rent for months. All right. When you can't make rent, generally the landlord kicks you out eventually. Right? And if it's a bank, even worse, right? If it's your mortgage that you're not making, right? So, but they put a moratorium on that. Okay, many of those moratoriums are lifting. The part where you can't in this state, like I said, in other states, I don't know what's going on, but in Hawaii, on the 31st, they're either going to extend that, where you can't kick your tenants out for another so long, but pretty soon the landlords are going to start getting pissy about that. But on the other hand, then what happens? Well, here in Hawaii, you get kicked out in November. It sucks. I mean, no mistake. It will absolutely suck to be homeless or having to find a cheaper apartment or house or whatever. But it's Hawaii and it's November and you can still run around like this. All right. In Chicago, in Minneapolis, in New York, in Maine, in Seattle, it isn't warm in November at all. And they're going to kick these people out at the dead of winter after the election. Do you see how this works? Because the thing with real estate is it's not like silver. Did you see? And we're going to talk about silver. Oh my gosh. They sold so much silver and it's already coming back, right? That's a V-shaped recovery, right? They sold in 1 day, they sold, I'm trying to remember the numbers, 2.5 years of mine supply. In other words, the mines are running full tilt for 2 years. That's how much they sold in paper in 1 day. Knocked the price down over $4. Woohoo! They got $4 out of that, right? And they made the situation worse. So that correction is already correcting from the correction. Last I checked, and I just checked, silver had rebounded another $1 or so today. So yeah, it's back up to 27.45. So yeah, they had pushed it down under $25. Gold is still, they hammered gold really hard, and it's at 1957. And somebody pointed this out, and I absolutely, positively agree with them. If you didn't know about the recent crash, as it were, you'd be pleased as punch with the price of silver right now, because it's $25. And just a few weeks ago, it was in the teens. But yeah, it went up to almost to 30 and then crashed back down. Oh, so it's over. And people are just ridiculous. Overall, the trend is like this, right? It might even go like this eventually. But for right now, the trend is up. And you can make money on this trend. And I've said it in numerous videos going back through time. They don't go straight up. They're never going to let it go straight up, first off, because it's a rigged market. But second off, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's an OTC stock or an NASDAQ stock or a Dow stock, or whatever it is, even silver or gold, they don't just go this one direction. Houses don't just go in one direction. They have corrections. They have pullbacks. Well, we just had a massive pullback where they dumped 2 freaking years and more of mine supply into the market, and the market recovered. Right? It's already going, it's going to go through 30 again. So they managed to push it down a little bit. What happens in December? Or excuse me, never mind December. How about coming up here in September when we have triple witching, which I believe is September 18th. Really, so we have all this silver that people want delivered, and they don't have it. So you're either going to accept FRNs, or you're going to pay your contract for it, or I don't know what. But September should be very, very interesting. And I doubt when we get to September that silver will still be under $30. But my calculation, I erased them all. But my calculations for silver and gold are crazy talk, astronomical. I'm not even going to share them because you'll just think I'm nuts. But everybody, even except for I'll put links down there. There's like one or two silver bugs that I agree with, where the price is got to go much higher. Now we have a little problem in trying to calculate price. Trying to get what the cost of 1 ounce is going to be rather difficult because, one, we don't know how many FRNs are out there. We don't even know. It's trillions. We know that. And I'll put stuff down here from Greg Hunter and other people where it's like, oh, look, we just found another 91 trillion. Oh, here's 21 trillion. Here's another 21 trillion that we didn't talk about. That's 42 trillion. Right? And then there's another 90 trillion. So we're looking at like $100 trillion. Let's see here. And then 8,300 tons of gold. This is tons. Is what they're saying. So that would be your denominator in the United States. We don't know if that number is correct. So it's they've made it impossible for us to do any kind of calculations because you can't figure out how many FRNs there are and you can't figure out how much gold there is. So it makes it very difficult to figure out what the price of 1 ounce of gold should be. But the fact that if you've been paying attention even slightly, that they have printed trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions more. And most people, let's see here. There's 1,000. Okay, so that's a million. That's 1,000 millions, which is called a billion. That's 1,000 billions, which is called a trillion. We have hundreds of these, hundreds of trillions of dollars out there, FRNs, and they're not pieces of paper. They're in accounts. They're zeros and ones in computers and so forth. But if it was just $1 trillion, the price of gold should be way the hell above where it is now. But it's not just $1 trillion. It's 21 if you can't count. It's 42 if you count. Like I said, I'll put some links down there. And these are not slouches. These are not conspiracy theorists. These are people that do math and economics. If it's 91 or if it's over 100, well, I think it was Bill Holter took number of FRNs, and I believe he was only using 21 trillion, 21T, and then he used 83, and he came up with $87,000 for 1 ounce of gold. 21T is ridiculous. If this number gets higher, that number, of course, gets smaller, but the idea is we don't know what that number is either. But so just do multiples based on Bill Holter's work. 4 times this. Well, 4 times that is only 84. And that other guy talked about $91 trillion that he discovered off book and between the Pentagon and all the other nefarious crap that's going on. I mean, these people are so corrupt, it's ridiculous. These corrupt pedophiles have robbed us, put us in a system of bondage. This book will explain very well how that system of bondage works. Many of the other books, oh, get yourself a subscription. Just get a subscription. Support these guys. They try to the best of their ability. It's definitely got a little bit of a spin to it, but they try to tell the truth. They try to vet and get facts. They don't just make shit up. So they might deserve your look, I bought lots of show and tell today. They deserve your support. And there's actually some reasonably good articles in that thing. But this book right here tells you all about the bondage system because this is the bondage system that they're using. And I see this all over the place. Oh, that's that right? I see constantly that, you know, oh, it's a system of enslavement, it's a psyop that's 2,000 years old. Okay, those things are all true. Doesn't matter. It's still in place. The president puts his hand on this book. The president of United States Corporation puts his hand on this book. United States Corporation uses this book to enslave you. United States Corporation understands that none of the laws that they write can be in contravention to this book. This book tells you how to get out of slavery. This is the book that enslaves the foolish and liberates the wise. Same book. All right. And I've seen it all over the place. Yep. I can't stress enough. Wait, let's look this up. Oh, I can't remember. I'll put links below. But there's many people out there that have told you that, hey, this story is the same year after year. And I meant to call it up ahead of time, but then I just checked to see if I could go live. And then sure enough, it let me go live. And it doesn't always. Like, I've been trying to go live since earlier this morning. And it is now, holy cow, 1:30 in the afternoon. I was hoping to be done with this by 11 or so. That's how long I've been trying to go live, and it wouldn't let me. And I reset computer and then all of a sudden it just let me go live. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just let me go live. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So there are a lot of different things I want to talk about, and it's going to be shotgun approach because I wasn't 100% prepared for this one. After I was prepared and then I wasn't. And then I closed some things and I did some browsing and I screwed around and so forth. And now, anyway, but go look and see. Yes. This story has been told over and over and over again throughout the ages. The Phoenicians told the story. They didn't call him Christ. The Egyptians told the story. They didn't call him Christ. They call him, right? I mean, the Trinity is there. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. The born of the Virgin. The born on the 25th of December. The whole story is told over and over and over again throughout all cultures. Well, not all cultures, but most cultures. The hero with 1,000 faces. It's the same guys. It's the same story. Same book. This is the latest, quote unquote, incarnation of that story. And they don't do it all at once. Is they use this book and the Red Cross flag law and this book, and they went around the world and literally conquered the world. All people that weren't using the Babylonian money magic system now use the Babylonian money magic system. All people that didn't understand the courts and what was going on now use the courts. Fijians use the courts. Hawaiians use the courts. Tongans use the courts. Filipinos use the courts. Indonesians use the courts. If you screw up, you're going to go in front of a magistrate. There's going to be this book in the room, and the system of bondage is basically the same. And the average person doesn't understand that they write bonds on you and so on. And this book right here gives it to you from a secular approach in what happened just here in this one country, the United States. And actually, it should be pretty clear to you that they go read the reviews on Amazon. It's all 5-star reviews. There's like 41 of them. They're all 5-star. This is a freaking excellent book. Get it and read it. And then the other one to read is Plague of Corruption, which I have someplace else. That's another good book. Read books. I don't know anybody smart who doesn't read books. I was looking around to see if I have it, and I don't. All right. Let's continue. This is, and also just errata. I look through my videos and sometimes I misspeak and sometimes I absolutely get it wrong. So you need to freaking do your own, don't count on me, don't count on other guys, do your own damn research and you'll see where I screw up every once in a while.